Hey everybody, it's my quick 3-question live stream. Good to see you. My banner's up. Hi everybody. It's my Wednesday night live stream where I go live for just a few minutes and allow you guys to ask me a few questions about your relationship life, the science of relationships. So I have Instagram up here. Hi Instagram, how are you? Good to see you. And down here I should have Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube. Let me open up the comments everywhere. So if you have a question, okay, hello, and tell me where you're watching from too. I always love hello from Canada. How are you? Hi from Sacramento. Nice to see you. Hello from Indonesia. It's hard for me to see. I have to get up a little bit higher so I can see what's going on Instagram. There we go. Vegas, hello. Thank you, Larry. Q classes, they're by Chloe. I don't know what that means. Okay, so Alex is going to start off with the first question. We're going to do 3 quick questions. Alex is on YouTube, and he asks, what is masculine and feminine energy, and is that stuff real? No, masculine and feminine are gender concepts that were created by culture. So we have biological sex, and biological sex consists of 3 possible pieces of biology. Your external genitalia, which is how we assign people at birth by that one simple little thing, external genitalia. And then we have internal structures, and then we have chromosomal makeup. And all of that can impact your psychology, your brain physiology, and give you a sense of gender identity. So when I hear people say, oh, he's in his male energy or his female energy, it's not talking about anything to do with biological sex. It's talking about a cultural idea. The truth is, we're all human beings. There's no such thing as masculine energy. Now, you might say high testosterone men, which is a hormone, a neurohormone, behave in certain ways. But our culture gave them the name of masculine because there are plenty of women who are very strident, like me, and are able to be what you might call feminine at the same time. Hello from Phoenix. Hi, London. Hi, Vegas. Nice to see you. I always love it. You're in California too. Nice to see you. Okay, question number 2. Who has question number 2 for me? Throw it out. You get 3 quick questions. Oh, Brandon, I love this question. I love this question. I love this question. Okay, so Brandon's also on YouTube. He says he's 19 years old. He sees pretty girls on campus. I want to talk to them, but I have high functioning autism, making it harder for me to communicate with people. Okay, so here's some suggestions for you, Brandon, because I know that often social anxiety often accompanies high functioning autism. Think of commonality. Look at what they're doing, who they're talking to, what they're wearing, and start with a positive comment. Not about their body, not about you're so pretty, because women at this time, we don't like to hear that from strangers. It's really creepy. You might simply just say the word hello and see if it gets reciprocated. Maybe you're just passing and you just might try to, I know it's hard sometimes for eye contact, but try to look them in the eye and just say hi and keep moving then, right? Because that kind of lets them know like, oh, it's a nice guy. He's friendly. He's not going to be creepy and hover over me. The other thing you can do to get people to talk to you is wear shirts that say interesting things. Hello from KFI land. Thank you. They love my show. It's so nice. I guess you're in Southern California, KFI land. You can wear shirts that have some interesting, funny logo or saying on it, and then maybe people might talk to you first. That's helpful. But start with just something simple, like the word hi. And more than anything, watch for reciprocation. If they don't reciprocate, just keep on moving, okay? You'll be somebody else. Okay. Okay, another good, all the questions are coming on YouTube because this week I did a 24-hour YouTube live with my videos. And so I have quite a few thousand new YouTube followers. So welcome my YouTube community. And I'm looking up here to Instagram because I want to make sure if I see any questions go by there that I answer them because I'm only going to do 3 before I go on to, yes. Also, someone on Instagram, the Queen Blackberry, suggests you watch Love on the Spectrum, which is an amazing program, a series on Netflix. And I love it. We're in season 2 right now. And my heart is, oh my God, it's so exciting. Okay, so let's go to YouTube because Roman's got a question. Here we go. Roman says, I'm 28. I'm dating a girl who's long distance. She gets upset when I say I don't want long distance. She triggers me. I'm highly anxious and ambivalent. Help. Anxious, ambivalent people love long distance relationships. In other words, they love to hate them. They love because it triggers their sense of longing, right? Because comorbid or combined with their feeling of love is also a feeling of loss and longing, right? That's the piece of it. And so when you say you don't want a long distance relationship, you know why she gets angry? Because she's translating that into the words, I want to break up with you. I would ask that you change your language to, I love you and I miss you, and this long distance relationship is hard. Because that way you're just expressing your feelings about what's going on, and you're not saying, I'm going to break up with you, right? Divorced for 10 years now, single mom. I haven't dated anybody because I have trust issues. How old are your kids? You know, I worry about single moms because I think a revolving door of parental figures is the worst thing for kids. I also know that kids living in a house with a non-biologically related male have 8 times the rate of abuse, whether it be emotional, physical, sexual. Often child predators are attracted to single mothers because they can get access to the kids. So go slowly, keep your romantic life separate. And if you have trust issues, then go gently, make friends that you're attracted to. Okay, so somebody says, oh, Victor, that's an excellent question. I love how active my YouTube community is right now. Hello, everybody on YouTube. It's wonderful. Victor says, I'm a 29-year-old man. Does your advice differ when it comes to same-sex male couples? How do you think this affects the ways one might approach relationships? I'm actually about to record a series of LGBTQ relationship advice, but I want to say this. First of all, here's what's not different about gay relationships and heterosexual relationships, the attachment style, right? So the anxious people are always going to get attracted to the avoidant people. They do it through sexual attraction and lust. That's the first thing. What else is not different is the negotiation around gender roles and gender responsibilities in the house. However, many people in same-sex relationships come to their intimate relationship having had trauma. It's like they've had a toxic relationship with society. Many have suffered discrimination, bullying as children, rejection from their family. And so in same-sex relationships, they need an extra exchange of care. You know, every relationship we have is an exchange of care. That care can take so many forms, right? It can be financial care, sexual care, domestic responsibility care, but the big one is emotional care. And to understand that your partner needs you as a secure base. Your partner needs you as the safe pillow to fall back on after their day. And the other thing I want to add that's kind of complicated, but it's important, an important issue that people don't talk about a lot, is that many gay people, because they suffered this bullying or rejection from their family of origin, not all, but some, actually have their own internalized homophobia that they're not even aware of. Carl Jung would call it our shadow. We all have a shadow, by the way, no matter who you are. Our shadow is sort of the darker side of ourselves that it's hard for us to tolerate. So instead of looking at it and understanding it, we point fingers out into the universe to other people and say, oh, that person's bad. And so there is sometimes a danger with partners who have unchecked internalized homophobia that they might project it onto their partner, right? And so it's really important that we pay attention to these things. Thank you for the nice compliments. I appreciate it. I want to tell everybody that I do 15 minutes here live every Wednesday at 6. And then I go over to my private exclusive Patreon Zoom room. And you can go to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. That's Patreon, patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. And for as little as $4 a month, you can join my private community. We have really wonderful discussions in our Zoom room because unlike just comments on a screen. I get to see you and meet you. I mean, if you're shy, you can keep your camera off. Some people do. But we generally have somewhere between 8 and 20 people every Wednesday at 6:30 Pacific time in my private Zoom room. And I'm telling you, it's the highlight of my week. I really love getting to know people on my Patreon page. So feel free. Okay, let's see if we have time for one more question before I head over to Patreon. I want something from Instagram. I saw a comment and went by so fast. Oh, yes, over here. More on YouTube. I like your username, not Justin Trudeau, really. One relationship advice you would give your younger self. Well, I have a bunch of things. First of all, don't use duration as a judge of relationship success. There are plenty of people in very long-term relationships who are in toxic relationships or very unhappy relationships. Secondly, there are plenty of fish in the sea. Don't put all your energy on trying to get this one person to love you. And if you've been following me on TikTok and you've seen all my story times, you know that I wasted large chunks of my life trying to get kind of avoidant people or players to, I'm trying to transform myself so they would love me. So there are plenty of fish in the sea. And the other thing is that relationships are far more about skill than luck. I really mean it. Learning good relationship skills. That includes learning how to choose better, learning how to exert boundaries and express your boundaries earlier, learning how to communicate your needs in a constructive way, in a loving way. All those are skills, right? And they can be learned. And so this hope that love will just happen or the right person will just land in your life is a crazy idea, right? The truth is that relationship skills really can be learned, and I love to teach them. Okay, with that said, is there a quick one on Instagram? I feel like I'm avoiding Instagram because I'm so busy here on YouTube. Let's see if there's a quick question that pops up on Instagram so I can answer one there. They're going so fast and I have to look up like that. Got a question on Instagram? Quick relationship question? Anybody? Anybody? Lots of hearts. Thank you. That's very kind of you. And they keep popping up on. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, but I have to read this one from YouTube, but it's so good. YouTube is just on fire with the questions tonight. This is a so good one. I am dating an older woman for the last 3 months, but found out she's a former friend's mother. We like each other and the sex is incredible, but she's conflicted whether to end it. Well, what is the purpose of this relationship? Right? And you said former friend. Okay, if this was a current friend, I'd be, but if it's someone you knew a long time ago, the question is, what is the purpose of the relationship? Sometimes we have short-term relationships because we want to get our sexual mojo back, maybe after a breakup or something. So the question is, what do you want out of this? And if you want a short-term private sexual relationship and it is a former friend, then no issue for you. If she's got the moral dilemma, then that's on her to figure out. There's nothing you can do about that. What do I think of teens starting to date at 15? Thank you, Instagram, for a question. Okay, so here's what we know. That about 90% of humans cross-culturally around the globe have sex for the first time by their 20th birthday. But there are many steps and stages towards first-time intercourse. And people can start dating as, it depends on your culture. Sometimes as early as 14. The important thing is that they're dating peers and exploring together with peers. If there's more than a 2-year age gap, that's creepy, right? That is not safe because there's a power dynamic that's unfair. There's research on what we call early starters, mid starters, and late starters. Early starters being age, 12 to 14. Mid starters being 15 to 18, and late starters being age 19 or older. And I'm talking about the debut of their sexual life. And the research has shown that the late starters actually have fewer divorces, healthier romantic lives. They accumulate more wealth, more education. And this makes a lot of sense because people who focus on gaining education, people who focus on building their careers often put relationships aside and then later embark on their romantic relationship. When they're more mature, they have a more developed prefrontal cortex. We also know that early starters, often it is because of pressure from somebody older. There may be drugs or alcohol involved. There may be abuse involved. They may be susceptible to teen pregnancy, right? So early starters, not healthy, but most of us are like the 15 to 19 range for the debut of their sexual life. Most humans, if you ever wondered. Okay, I am going onto my Patreon page. I encourage you to join me. Come on over. Thank you for all the kind things you're saying up there on Instagram. Patreon, Patreon, is a private community of my followers where I meet every Wednesday night in an exclusive Zoom room for as little as $4 a month. You can join me. And my podcasts are there. My books are there. I send blogs out 3 times a week. It's really, people send me private messages on Patreon. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is check my Patreon page and answer those, because I feel like the people in my Patreon community, my community of love warriors, as I call you guys, are my employers. So please come on over and join my Patreon. It would be really nice to see you. Otherwise, you know where to find me. I'm all over social media, and every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, you can find me on KFI AM 640 radio in Los Angeles. If you download the iHeartRadio app, you can get it anywhere. Bye. I love you all. We'll see you next week. End broadcast there.